Good afternoon. My name is Tantip. In the former time, I am a medical doctor. Now I change into normal housewife. My dress code is this. But the most important thing is not about doctor or medical doctor or not medical doctor. But I think that the most important thing is how can people know what is our ability, and we use our ability, and also we can empower people all around. Would you please have the video? First video, please. ขอวิดีโอแรกเลยค่ะ
The show. The question for the final round is: how much money does the richest dog in the world have? A. 200 million baht or B. 396 million baht. If you answer correctly, you will win 10 million baht. If you answer incorrectly, you will win only 2 baht. And if you stop now, you will receive 50,000 baht straight away. Will you stop or will you answer?
Stop. Don't play anymore.
I will answer. My answer is A. Wrong. Not being too greedy is a fundamental part of living a sufficient lifestyle. If you want to learn about many aspects of sufficiency living, please watch the Sufficiency Variety Show. It tells the stories of 7 people who have changed their lives from crisis to good quality of life. Can I buy it? It's free. Just call the following number. I will put it in my mobile.
Let's work together for sustainable happiness based on a sufficient lifestyle.
You can see that in this world, the objective of life of the people change from happiness, from the thing that we can create ourselves, into something that's impossible, like how much money of the richest in the world of the dog have. Dog have no money, dog have nothing. Even his wife try to promote everything. So if we stay with this concept, we have problem. So I am lucky. I was born in Bangkok. My parents work for the government, so I grown up in rural area in the north and faced many problems because I got sick frequently. And the worst scenario in my life is my family have to move along with the doctor. In that time, I lived in Tak province in the northwest of Thailand, and I got sick, and there are no doctor in remote area, in rural area in that time. So my mom forced my dad to move along with the doctor. So it is my inspiration to be a doctor. And after graduation, I decided to work in the northeast in Khon Kaen province, but not in the city, Khon Kaen city, but far away from the city, in the purpose to be rural doctor. And I stay in this place for 33 years already. And I experienced something that's very good. I want to show you.
This is Mr. Smith's plot of land. The price of sugarcane is high, and Mr. Smith grows only sugarcane. Mr. Jones also grows sugarcane, but he uses most of his land for integrated farming. He also has fish in his pond. Mr. Smith is hungry. He has to sell the sugarcane to buy fish. Mr. Jones catches fish from his pond. Mr. Smith uses insecticide. Mr. Jones uses local herbs to control insects. Mr. Smith is ill. He has to go to the hospital. Mr. Jones is ill. He uses his medicinal herbs. The price of sugarcane falls. Mr. Smith is unhappy. Mr. Jones is not unhappy. He still has corn, bananas, and fish to sell at a good price. He expands his farm, and there is work for his children. Mr. Smith has nothing. His children must go to work in the city. Mr. Jones carries out integrated farming. Mr. Smith carries out monocropping.
My experience as I am a rural doctor, I found that almost all farmers, almost all my patients live in most fertile land in the world, but they are misconceived by many things, so that they try to plant many things and sell in very low price to buy something for their daily life. But luckily, I know them, and I want to show you the last video clip that what is my inspiration.
Here are Mr. A, B and C. Mr. A has rice with fish. Mr. B has rice with chilies. Mr. C has rice with soup. One day, Mr. A invites Mr. B and Mr. C to have lunch together. What happens? All three people now have rice with 3 dishes. Mr. A wants to repair his house. Mr. B and Mr. C help him. The repairs are finished quickly. Mr. C is not at home. Mr. A and Mr. B keep an eye on his house. No need for a guard. Mr. A has bananas, Mr. B is good at making snacks, and Mr. C is artistic. They talk together before producing banana crisps in a beautiful package. Mr. D has a palm oil plantation. Mr. E knows how to produce biodiesel. They talk together and produce biodiesel for Mr. F, G and H, who produce electricity for Mr. I, J and K to mill rice. They give the rice husk to Mr. A, B and C to produce fertilizer and grow saplings. They use them to reforest public land. The impossible has become possible. Everything depends on community cooperation.
Let's work together for sustainable happiness.
Okay, this is all my experience that so we go back to my work. If we are talking about medical doctor, we talk about health for all or health for anything, but we have our objective to be healthy district. We have good hospital. We try to have good hospital. My hospital is the smallest size in Thailand, 30-bed hospital. We want to have good hospital. We want high quality. We want humanized healthcare. We want safe for all, and we want to empower people. How we can do this? Our work is about treatment inside and outside the hospital. We have rehabilitation. But the most important thing is people can create their own health, not waiting for the doctor, but they can have good health for all through health promotion, health prevention. And the most important thing is about learning process to empower farmer to practice integrated farming. Integrated farming means plant many things all together, especially in their daily life, and to achieve self-reliant economy. So we have a lot of objectives, but the most important thing, if you see in this slide, you can see that good health is the last objective, but they have to have good food, good society, good environment, and good wisdom mean they have some knowledge to take care of themselves. So my teacher taught me that if we want to solve hard problem, especially social problem, we cannot force them to do something, or we cannot only do something small, but we have to do 3 things altogether. The most important thing is to use the knowledge, both explicit knowledge and transit knowledge. The second thing is about networking, both vertical and horizontal, and have the social communication by social media. But the most powerful thing is to use all these things, communicate, and have the management and policy advocation. In 1991, after I worked for a while, I found that there are many patients come to the hospital. So we did a research of self-care in that year, and we found that only 23% of people need modern medicine. They are in the group that we call emergency or urgency group. They can recover with treatment. They can die without treatment. Only 23%. The largest group is the group that we call they can recover with treatment or recover without treatment. It means that they are simple URI, respiratory tract infection, or simple myalgia, something like that. If you cannot stop this group, there are many people will come to the hospital, will come to your clinic, and you cannot solve anything. So we can, what we are doing, we cooperate with local office like sub-district health office. We cooperate with local grocery store that sell some essential drug, and we cooperate with local people that do this traditional thing like traditional massage and traditional herb. So we can reduce number of outpatient and inpatient within the hospital. So it is our opportunity to have our staff have more free time to learn and to be friendly with the people. And we can reduce our outpatient and inpatient, and we can have more staff by have a regular meeting with our staff. We have a network within the village, and we are thinking about if the doctor and nurses are absent, this generation absent, what happened? So we create new generation of our staff. In the past, almost all of our staff we call imported from other big city, because in the city the quality of education is better, so they can pass the examination and get in the university or in the nursing college, especially in nurse career. So in our district we provide opportunity for local students to do a volunteer work within the hospital from grade 4th to grade 6th for 3 years, at least 60 times, the funding by the hospital foundation. So the most important thing is two things. The first thing, the students can realize themselves that they are really want to be a nurse or not, or they just pass the examination to be a nurse. The second thing, they know that what is the work of the nurse do. And after that, we order them to do many things in the village, to know the village history and many things. And after that, we join with the university, the nursing college, and now we join with private college that have the nursing faculty. We join all together, and we scholarship. We give them scholarship. The scholarship come from many kind of office. The first thing from the local administration office. The second thing from private sector that donated from the hospital foundation. The last thing, now we cooperate with the CSR of public of some private company like PTT. And in this situation, we have 29 students graduate already and come to be our staff as a nurse in the hospital, so we can reduce number of unfriendly nurse from our hospital, substitute by local students. The second thing, this nurse we call their group community nurse. They do many things in the hospital, and we have one day for them to go back to the village to do some work in the village. As a community nurse, it means that if we have some bedridden, or if we have some diabetes that cannot control their diet, this nurse can help us to join hands all together. So in this measure, we wish that we can have our hospital that have the purpose to be for the people. For the people, it means for local people. by the people, it means that their offspring go back to their hometown. And the last thing is all this hospital belong to local people, so it can substitute elderly women like me to go back and retire, and we can have new generation of our staff forever. Thank you very much.